Hi, this story truly warmed my heart to the fullest extent, higher than what I thought was possible, and it filled me with so much inspiration that I wanted to share it with you guys, and I hope that it does the same for you. So the hero of our story starts out on a street corner. He's homeless, forgotten, treated like he's invisible, often disregarded, just another man holding up a sign. But all it took was just one stranger to roll down his window and hear a voice that was just world-stopping. As a matter of fact, it was so powerful that it would inspire a chain reaction of insane events that would completely change the trajectory of the rest of his life. You won't believe how fast a man's entire life can change when the world finally listens, because this is the story of the homeless man with the golden voice. And you know what? It almost didn't even happen. But let's get one thing straight before we go forward. Ted Williams wasn't always homeless. At one point, he had a career, a family, an entire future, the whole nine right there. He actually worked in radio in the 1980s, which is a pretty sweet gig. He had a smooth, charismatic, and very natural on-air voice. But then, I don't even know if I can say that on YouTube without getting demonetized, but alcohol, bad decision after bad decision all started to pile up, and eventually, one by one, the doors started to close on him. First, he lost his job, then his home, and here's the real gut punch. He ended up losing his kids. Fast forwarding over to 2011 when we meet him, he's full-on living in a tent, begging for change, and completely alone. But here's the part no one sees. Every day, despite it all being the reality of the circumstances that he's in, he still practices his voice. He's still fine-tuning that instrument of his. He practices it, in corners to no one, just in case someone hears it again. Now, there are those who are going to argue that he's being delusional at this point, but he still believes deep down that he's got unfinished business there. Then, one cold afternoon, fate decides to step right on in and roll down a single car window. Doral Chenoweth, a videographer for the Columbus Dispatch, sees Ted at an intersection, and it's Ted's sign that really catches his eye. It reads, "I have a God-given gift of voice. I'm an ex-radio host who's fallen on hard times." Curious, Doral pulls over and asks Ted to prove it. "Well, take it away, Ted." And the moment he opened his mouth, the entire world changed. It's flawless, it's commanding, it's gold. So Doral uploads the video that night, and within 24 hours, it goes nuclear. Bizarre, mind-boggling. Within a single day, the video winds up racking up millions of views. People just can't have enough. They're all saying the same thing. Where has this man been? Suddenly, the offers just start showering him. They can't stop coming in. He's drenched in them. He's got voiceover jobs, interviews, national commercials. "Hello, we are Kraft Mac and Cheese, and we are interested in you, Ted, to narrate our very next ad." The Cleveland Cavaliers offer him a house and a full-time gig. Even Oprah's people call. Is anyone shocked? Overnight, Ted goes from homeless to headline / in the hot seat / America's Most Wanted. In a good way, of course. You want to know the wildest part? At this point, he hadn't even seen the video yet. So all this is just changing and happening around him, and he's just moving with the times, and he doesn't even really know the full extent of why this is all going on.
Homeless guy with a golden voice. I had no idea. Someone called me and told me,
"It's you that they're looking for. Your video went viral."
The next few days are a blur. I mean, let's give Ted a break here for a second. Let's put ourselves in his shoes. What's going on? One second, he's on the sidewalk. The next, he's flying first class. I mean, who gets to fly first class? He's meeting Al Roker, and he's reuniting with his family again. His 90-year-old mother, she thought she'd never see him again. She thought that was it. That was it for her and her baby. Now, he's on national TV saying, "Mom, your prodigal son has returned." It's the kind of redemption arc you only see in movies. It's truly heartwarming, and it's the kind of redemption you can only hope and wish for every single person who has fallen victim of their own demons at one point in life. But this is still a true story, okay? This is not a fairy tale, and Ted still very much has his demons. Ted admits he relapsed shortly after his rise to fame. It was all too much, too fast. The cameras, the lights, the whirlwind. I think anyone would agree it was quite overwhelming. He takes a second to analyze the situation and see what he's dealing with here, and he decides to enter rehab and step away from the media. The entire public simultaneously holds its breath, and everyone asks themselves, is this just another tragic rise and fall? But then something shifts. Ted regroups, he recenters, he rebuilds, and he reconnects. Because here's the little secret about a golden voice. So yeah, it can get rusty, but it never fully disappears. Today, Ted Williams uses his voice for more than just radio. He speaks to the young people about the dangers and the pitfalls of addiction, about the treacherous reality of homelessness, and about the shining beam of light that is hope when you face your demons and your battles head on. He went on to publish a memoir, narrate commercials, and lend his voice to causes that matter, making a true impact and a big difference. Way to go, Ted. And while he didn't become a millionaire, he ended up gaining something far more rare. He got a second chance at life. He got a second chance at dignity, at self and soul fulfillment. What made Ted's story go viral wasn't just reliant on the novelty or the gimmick of his voice, but it was of the soul behind the whole journey. Through the years of pain that we get to witness here and the belief in redemption that exists on the other side of it, we're reminded that people are far more than their worst day. And I say we're reminded because I know that we already know that, but the way we act can sometimes be a different story. There are thousands of people like Ted standing at intersections completely ignored. Voices waiting to be heard. But this story, Ted's story, is proof of what can happen when the world pauses to listen. So the next time you pass someone with a sign, remember, you might just be passing by the next Ted Williams, and all it takes is just one person, just one window rolled down to change everything. If this story moved you as much as it moved me, make sure you share this with everyone. I'm looking at you. No pressure. All love, only love. If you like this video, make sure to show me by pressing like, subscribing to the channel for more stories just like this one, and sometimes, a bit of a different tone story, and turn on the notification bell so that you're the first to know about all the new ones we have coming up. And I want to give a big thank you to our amazing, incredible donation heroes. Thank you so very much, Kevan, Corkill, and Marissa Martinez. I love you from the bottom of my heart. You are what keeps this channel standing. You're what keeps the videos coming, and I'm so very grateful. If you'd like to help these videos be created, you can also donate. You can click on the link in the description below. It is all much appreciated. I love you guys. Take care of yourself, take it easy, and remember, you might be the reason someone smiled today.